Welcome to Let's Talk About Videos. My name is Gosanatim Kize, and today we are going to be talking about chemistry. So, what is chemistry? Well, chemistry is a branch of science that deals with chemical substances and the properties that they possess and how they react with one another. So the second question is, why do we do chemistry? Well, firstly, we do chemistry in order to gain the experience and understand if it's something that we may want to do in future and perhaps spend our lives doing it. So it gives us that opportunity. The second reason why we do chemistry is because we want to pursue a career in chemistry, and there are also a number of careers we can pursue. One could study pure chemistry, one could study applied chemistry, one could study biochemistry. There are so many types of chemistries. You can study inorganic, organic chemistry, physical chemistry. So there are many careers that chemistry is associated with. And it is so for a very good reason, because if you think about water, water is actually a chemical itself. So if you think about the importance of water in our lives and the fact that in order to purify water, we use chemical methods to purify it, then one can really come to understand that chemistry is a very important part of our lives. Now, the important parts and the interesting parts I find about chemistry is in the third question that we ask in these videos, and that question is, what is the subliminal meaning that this subject is telling us about? So chemistry, what is the underlying meaning that chemistry tells us? Well, the underlying meaning that chemistry tells us is that there is a connection between things. So if I can just show you a periodic table for those who don't know, this is a periodic table. And if you look at this periodic table, it basically has about 116 elements. And it's just different atoms with different properties. 116. Now, what amazes me about the periodic table is that they are ordered in a specific way. There are no gaps in a periodic table, and it's not like they made the elements. Elements are substances that occur in nature. So to find that something could be ordered and arranged in such a perfect manner is intriguing indeed. But what is even more fascinating about chemistry is that it tells us that we can understand and we can use something as part of our lives even if we are not sure. Chemistry is basically uh, 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 based on not being sure, or basically they've just did some experiments that proved that they may have been right. And the fascinating about all sciences in general is that since knowledge is scientific, in other words, it needs to be proven. Now, no theory is so immune that it is not adjustable in case there's new evidence presented. So in other words, since no one has ever seen an atom, but chemistry is basically the study of atoms, then how come have they come to create such a beautiful periodic table? And in fact, everything, almost everything around us is a substance, and that substance is a chemical substance. And by understanding and using the periodic table, they've created the world as we know it. So what does chemistry tell us? It tells us that even if you are not sure about something, but it may still work. And just because you can't prove it without or beyond doubt does not necessarily mean that it is not right. So whatever that you believe, if you believe that you were made to be the best, if you believe that you were made to succeed in life, just because people can't see it and people can't prove it does not necessarily mean that it is not true. and chemistry tells us that.